What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are at the Bowery Electric, and today we are here with Granny for Barrel. Thank you so much for your time today.
None other than Granny.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me, Alex.
Yeah. How's it feel to be back at Bowery Electric after, like 3 or 4 months or something
I
like
was
that?
just around a couple of months, but it feels mighty good
There you
to
go.
be back with the rock and roll children again.
There you go. There you go. Us crazy Lower East Siders. You have to deal with us either rowdy New York City hardcore people or the hipsters. I don't know which one's worse.
Well, you know, Granny Fallbell is not for the faint of heart, so any uptight motherfuckers ain't gonna understand what we're doing. But for those of us that understand the true spirit of rock and roll, you get what Granny's doing.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go. One thing I was curious about is these two singles you have, Nitro Sexy and this new single that you premiered today, The Art of Deception. Do you consider this a clear representation of the sound of Granny for Barrel, or do you experiment a little bit more with your sound?
Well, I mean, I think it's a nice diversity, right? Because Nitro Sexy was a little more kind of tongue-in-cheek, reckless abandon. We had strippers in the video. It was, listen to the title, Nitro Sexy. But this here is a departure from that. We got a little darker tone. This is about the abuse of power, the art of deception. So I guess you get the full spectrum of Granny and everything in between. But we're always trying something new, as you heard this evening with that disco remake we did.
Yeah, that was
Incredible. Summer, I feel love. You never know what we got up our sleeves.
Yep. And of course, you brought some classical music in the beginning as well.
That's right. It's a Beethoven eruption mashup.
There you go. It's fair to say you take inspiration from many different sources, from classical music to rock to disco and so much, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're unrestrained. I don't want to have constraints put on me. We just want to do what we want to do, whatever feels good. If we feel like doing a mashup with Beethoven, I mean, we got a violin player, why not?
There you go.
That's right.
You need to get like a real obscure instrument, like a flute player or an accordion, or there's so many folk metal bands.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we get one of those, what's that thing with the, makes the sound with the, looks like a U shape? A theremin, that's it.
I worked.
Get one of them.
No, be careful what you wish for. I worked in a guitar store for 10 years, and the little kids, when they get a hold of that thing,
Oh, shit. Yeah, they go crazy.
There you go. And
The parents.
yep, exactly. Maybe you, Granny, could discipline some of them.
Yeah, we'll just play them some Black Sabbath and straighten them out.
There you go. One thing I'm always curious about is, obviously seeing you live is a completely different experience than listening to you. I mean, your show is incredible. What I'm curious is, when you're making music, are you just as much in character, or is there a similar energy that you channel into the studio or songwriting mode as you do when you're playing live?
I think Granny Fallbarrel and the whole, I guess the theatrical piece that we do, it's all one in the same. So I never really depart from Granny's mind. I mean, you're looking at a guy in a dress pretending he's 100-year-old grandmother fucking with people's heads. It's about liberating minds and giving the middle finger to stereotypes. But I never really depart from my real self to my alter ego self. It's just kind of one in the same. This is another extension of it.
So this is an extension of your inner being. You're not portraying something completely outside of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, at Halloween, people dress up, they say in their alter egos. I don't know what that says about me dressing up as an old woman, but this is what you get.
Yeah. King Diamond sings about Grandma. You actually are Grandma.
I am his granny.
Wow, that's pretty fucking old.
He doesn't know it, but I am.
Oh, man. I almost want to treat you to a chiropractor if you're as old as that. There you go.
It's all right.
There you go. When it comes to lyrics, do you need to hear music in order to come up with lyrics, or being that your music is so concept-driven, you think of the concept and that helps determine the music itself?
Sometimes it's a lyrical idea that starts things off, but most of the time, it's the music that comes first, and then I start to put in phrases, kind of melodic phrasings. They don't have words yet, but I know how I want to sing something. And then, depending on the mood of the music, then maybe an idea pops out, or maybe I have a concept that works with that particular thing. But most of the time, the music is first.
Do you want a listener to sort of see things from Granny's point of view, or can the music be open to interpretation?
I always want. That's what art. That's what art truly is, right? It's inspiration for people to see things the way they want to. I mean, I had a specific direction. But, you go ahead and interpret that any way you want. I think that's fair. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I mean, I've had songs in my mind for years, and I never knew what the original artist intended, but I don't want them to tell me what it is and ruin it for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It could
Just fuck up my memory.
and it could totally just ruin your perception on that song. Just imagine you have such a deep meaning behind it, and then the artist says, "Oh, I was just high when I wrote that," and
Yeah.
like, ruins everything.
And I'd be like, well, it means this because I want it to.
There you go. There you go. Now, here's I got 2 more questions for you. I'll get the hardest question out of the way first. How do you know when a song is done?
When a song is done,
Yeah.
well, you know, that's a tough one, right? Because you just keep you wanting to tweak shit. Well, maybe just a little more of this. But you know, when you get to a point, I guess after doing it for a number of years, you say, what's best for the song? And sometimes you start somewhere, go way down the wrong road for a long ass time, and come back to where you started. So we just try to feel it out and not waste too much time thinking we got to do a little bit more. Does it feel good? Does it say what we want it to say? That's enough. Get the fuck out and do the next one.
There you go.
That's right.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to stop yourself.
That's right, you do, because it can keep on going. It's the remix and the remix after that.
The radio edition, the Best Buy edition.
No, exactly.
And the final question I want to ask you is for inspiration, whether it's for songwriting or lyrics or anything, do you have to put yourself into a certain mode? You already portray a character, but do you have to put yourself in a certain mode in order to get into songwriting, or does inspiration sometimes just come out of nowhere?
It's just inspiration, you know, anything. I mean, I think any artist can relate to this. It's about how you feel about the truth about something inside, and I just got to get it out. And if I think it's applicable to hard rock and heavy metal, well, then it fits. You know, what we're doing. I got all kinds of song ideas. I mean, I write songs, so sometimes they might not be a metal song, but most of the time I'm in heavy metal frame of mind, so.
There you go. But I feel like your music's so experimental, you just can't be pigeonholed.
I like experimental. Avant-garde is another word, too.
There you go.
That's right.
So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's
Well, thank you, Alex. You always were my favorite grandson.
Oh,
my
thank you.
metal grandson. I'm so proud of.
Oh, thank you. Hey, listen, my grandmother's a Dying Fetus fan, so you guys might have to fight.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to arm wrestle. She'd probably kick my ass.
You never know.
You never know.
Just, is there just anything else you want to promote? This will be uploaded by midnight tonight, so if you have shows that haven't been announced yet, don't say it here.
All right. Well, no. So I want to promote the show coming up November 5th. I mean, for those of you who have friends or might be out in L.A., we're playing the Whiskey A Go-Go. All right, Granny Four-Barrel? Then 2 nights after that, we're going to be at the Ronnie James Dio. It's like a bowling, like a cancer fundraiser, and Granny's got her own lane. We're not playing, but we're actually bowling against other rock stars, raising money. That's right. And then on the 9th, since we're in L.A., we're going to move over to Pomona, California, and play Player Omega. It's a gamer convention.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, be about 7,000 crazy fucking gamers there. We're going to rock.
You got to be a total misfit. There would be like, back in my day, I had the Atari 2600.
Yeah, I know, playing fucking table tennis and shit. Remember that?
Yeah. It was so pixelated. This was before circles were invented.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you so much, Granny.
Alex.
Everybody, we are here with Granny for Barrel. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.